this week we've had a few real good announcements about the Nintendo Switch. We know the release date, we know a few more things, and we actually had a nice event that we're actually involved in.
Yeah, it was a hands-on event with Nintendo the day after of the announcement, so we were able to sort of kind of suss out how the device felt and how it played, and some of the games that got announced on the live stream as well.
So we're going straight into that.
To kind of like find out after the presentation yesterday, coming to the event?
I really want to know how the console felt more than anything else. There's so many different modes that you can play, and I want to know how they felt. Like, the games themselves, they'll come, but the console is what's on show today, and there's so many different ways, like you can hold it apart and together, and then you got the screen as well, so I want to know what that felt like. It's a little bit difficult because of the tethering and everything like that, and it's a bit heavier than I expected, but other than that, it feels okay. I'm skeptical, but okay.
What kind of technical specs are you wanting to hear from Nintendo leading up to launch?
That there are more launch games that we don't know about, but I don't know if that's going to happen, sadly. So I guess if, barring that, I'd like to hear that there is a strong lineup of games to come. And there's E3, obviously, and we haven't heard about the rumored Pokemon Stars and, you know, Super Smash Brothers. There are games that should be on the horizon that I'm desperately hoping that Nintendo, well, you know, like that they've saved. So there's, you know, some more traction over 2017 as well.
I'd hope that they would have, you know, their major kind of titles released somewhat early instead of near the end of the console's life. That's kind of what Nintendo's always done with every console. The best games come out near the end when you're hardly going to buy a console on its way out. So hopefully they get realistic with some of the titles like Smash Bros. And maybe a new Mario Kart. And yeah, hopefully that's at least early 2018. Yeah.
Really wanting to find out about the Nintendo Switch system or the ecosystem coming to the event today that you might have been curious about after the announcement yesterday?
I didn't know what that was until I got here, and then I realized the question was, how big is the thing? And I looked at it in the cabinet, and I was so surprised how small it was. And I thought, like, you know, they're making a console that's supposed to be for the home and portable. But in my mind, I don't know why I thought it was bigger. I kept on until I actually held one in my hands and didn't realize just how portable it is. So.
Did you think that was more like a positive or a negative sort of thing?
I thought it was really positive. Yeah, until I actually saw it playing up on a screen, because then I kind of thought it was the other way around, right? Like I thought it's too portable. Oh no, it's terrible up in HD on a big screen. And seeing like Mario Kart and everything else up there, and especially ARMS as well. Really surprised. Pleasantly surprised the whole way across.
I'm really interested in whether they will have the Nintendo shop and the Wii U games and the ecosystem that's been built so far there transfer across. Like, I think it would be a huge coup if they say, okay, all those games, those digital games that you've been playing on Wii U, you can just keep playing them on Switch. I think that would be the big thing.
I'm really busy all the time, so I think I'll play it out of the house a lot. And I love the fact that I can play a console game and a handheld game. Well, it's the same thing now. I don't have to like sacrifice the TV. I can play the same game wherever I am. But I'm really keen to play it out of the house. Mostly at work, in the car when I drive a lot around, and not while driving, but...
There's lots of opinion flying around out there about the Nintendo Switch right now, following the announcement and leading up to some of the hands-on events happening around the world in the US, London, Paris, Tokyo, and Melbourne. There's a lot being said out there, but what I really think matters is the opinion right now of the Nintendo Switch coming from the core gaming audience and the developers. Leading up to the announcement, I headed to the Zen Gaming Lounge in Melbourne to speak with Zen sponsorship and event developer Lachlan Wall about what he's heard and what he's seen from gamers and their interest in console gaming.
I see it as diminishing. I think more people are going to PC just because there's a wider range of games. You can get the games from PS4 onto PC easily.
With both PC and PS4 setups on show for customers to use, I asked Lachlan about whether Zen would consider Switch setups after the device launches in March.
I think it would be something that we would look into, especially when the event, the press release comes out. I think a challenge would be sort of looking after controllers, because from the trailers, the controllers they seem quite fragile, and looking after the screen, because a small screen can be really dangerous.
One of the games I spoke to at Zen, Connor, brought up his interest in what the Switch is bringing in its support for third-party games.
I'm an extreme Elder Scrolls fan, so I play Skyrim a lot. When they showed off Skyrim, how they could play that on the Switch, I was extremely excited, and I was like, what are they going to do here and stuff.
A little bit after I finished at Zen, and a little bit after the online presentation came out from Nintendo, I interviewed a few gamers from a Smash event in town about what they were really looking forward to and what was brought up during the online presentation.
Region locked. That's going to be good, because we have a lot of region problems, like importing overseas games.
I think one of the most impressive parts was the fact that they showed a bunch of games that people are definitely looking forward to. Whether or not it might be all the games that some rumours may have been about, but they still showed game after the slow start.
Almost, not quite console levels of performance, but close to, in the Switch's portability is really exciting.
More interesting, I found, though, was a few things they were concerned about that Nintendo brought up, or stuff they didn't even mention in the presentation.
As far as concerns go, I heard a lot of people were really worried that there were no games on release. I'm not sure the exact number, but the big ones were 1-2 Switch, which I don't know. I don't think it's really for my demographic, and the Zelda game, which is pretty full on.
So it's really the battery life might let down, but we'll see when it comes out.
Since I've already told what the online services are about and what you'll be getting when you pay for subscriptions, I think that's a good start. It might be a little steep for some people, though, for a monthly subscription.
No surprise there were quite a lot of mixed feelings about the Switch from the gamer community, but fortunately we won't have to wait too long to get our hands on the device after it launches fully in March. So we spoke to a bunch of gamers and a bunch of journos at the event where we got hands-on with the Switch, and very mixed feelings, both coming out of the presentation yesterday and coming out of the hands-on event today. Yeah. I think the main thing to take away from the event itself that we were at was how the hardware felt. And the controllers, I feel like, are probably the highlight of the Switch.
Well, everyone else was saying that they're really enjoying the build quality and the controllers itself. They're getting better with motion controllers. I think that's a good thing. Are they going back to it? That's a bad thing, but hey.
Even with the Joy-Con controllers in the tablet configuration or in a more traditional configuration, that alone actually works surprisingly well.
And having multiple buttons on the inside of the controller itself. There's a lot of good things about the build quality. The issues become in the information that they really haven't released. That's where everything falls down, I think, for me.
A lot of it comes down to the technology, more or less, the hard specs.
Yeah.
And Nintendo has never been known for putting overwhelmingly impressive specs in their devices. It's always been impressive experiences, but as with the last generation with the Wii U, they've fallen down on a lot of first-party releases.
Yeah.
In that situation, it falls on third-party developers. And right now, out of a GDC report, less than 3% of developers are working on Switch games. That doesn't fill me with hope, to be honest.
And the problem is that I think I see myself is that they haven't actually got the back end for third-party developers. Most third-party developers are going to be wanting digital games, right? Yeah. What digital marketplace the Nintendo Switch actually has, they have not shown anything. And we're 3 months from release? There's not and maybe they haven't released the information because they're hiding something so big that it's going to surprise us, but it could have been an iPad killer. That was my thing. It could have been so much of an iPad killer. Give it a little bit of app support, something like that, and it'd easily outsell an iPad.
Yeah, but in terms of pricing, it's more in that space of an iPad, like an iPad mini, more or less. But Nintendo as a hardware brand, with mainstream consumers, has never been oh, cool, it's a tablet, it's just an all-purpose device.
Yeah.
It's a gaming device. And as far as being a gaming device goes, it's not going to be particularly compelling, at least for the first year.
Yeah.
Launching in March, you don't have a crazy amount of people going, I'm clearly, I'm rolling in money after Christmas.
Exactly.
And the launch lineup is not looking particularly stellar either.
No, with 5 games at launch, it's...
By the end of 2017, with what they showed in the presentation, it looks to be a lot better. But beyond that, we haven't got a whole lot from Nintendo. We haven't got much at all from third-party devs. So it's going to be a slow rollout for Switch.
Yeah, I'm not buying one at launch, but maybe, Christmas 2017, 18?
It'll take
Who
a
knows?
while for a lot of people to pick it up.
Yeah.